Welcome to this week's Speaker Growth Series. Today, I'm talking about impact. How do you create an impact? How do you cut through the noise? I don't know about you, but there is a whole lot of noise online. I mean, just for the last few days, and while you're probably catching this a few weeks. That's not how you create an impact. This is when Michelle has a brain fart. You know what? I thought I would cut that out, but I won't. I'll leave it in. So for the last few days, you know what's been on my feed? This whole thing on Coldplay, this at the concert where this CEO and this lady in HR were caught, hugging at a Coldplay, the affair and all of that stuff. It's like, now that is what you call creating an impact on a scale. I don't know about you, but my feed has been so busy with that news. And then memes coming up and AI generated ones, right? It's like that talk about cut through creating an impact. But we don't want to do something like that because that's probably not what the CEO had in mind when he wanted to create an impact with his company. But how do we cut through the noise now? How do we really get people to say, hey, I want to know what she's doing or I want to work with her? Well, I'm going to take you through 4 things that really create an impact. And that first one is connection. Really building connection. Now, we can do that one-to-one, right? I don't know, like you go to networking events, one-to-one, you have a one-to-one conversation with your friends or things like that. But to create an impact, it's about creating connection from one to many. And speaking is by far the fastest way that you can go from one to many. But I think you know that already. So how do you create that connection from one to many so that you can create that impact? Well, the way you do that is you speak to one person. It's like you're having a conversation with that one person. The message that you're sharing is with that one person. Because here's what I know and what I have been guilty of. I have spoken and done speaking one to so many people, but speaking about so many different things on so many different topics, right? And when you try to be for everyone, you're actually not being for anyone. And so the way you really cut through and create that impact is to firstly create connection. And when you're speaking, it's about speaking to that one person, really having it conversational, right? Now, conversational works when you're on video, right? Conversational works when you're also on a stage. So you just got to be conscious of who's in the audience, your environment, what the intention is, etc., right? It doesn't matter. You can still build connection whether you're holding a keynote or whether you're facilitating a workshop or whether you're doing a masterclass, a Facebook Live, Instagram Live, LinkedIn Live, TikTok, whatever you want, right? It's about creating the connection with that one person. So the second way to create an impact and really cut through is to build trust, right? To really build trust to the one to many, right? To build trust so that people go, wow, I like her. I get her. I trust her. She's real. She's not fake. She's not performing. She's the real deal, right? And the way we do that, my favorite, storytelling. Because what happens with storytelling, you open the door to your world. People get to know a little bit more about you, who you are, what's happening in your life, your world. And when you share it in a way that really lands for people, then they start to see, parts of themselves in that story. And they could possibly also see what's possible for them. Because there is a method of storytelling. There is a way to build a story together so that it really connects and builds that trust. And the third thing, got my notes here, the third thing to create an impact is to move people to action. That's when you know that, wow, things are cutting through, things are really landing. Now, moving people to action doesn't necessarily have to be a call to action to buy my thing or, follow me here. It can be even move them to action to make a different choice, to start to think differently, right? So when you can move people to action, then you know that you're starting to create an impact. And I want to share with you that one of the ways that I had done that is through storytelling and also linking it with a message for them or an action step for them to take or for them to reflect on and consider, right? And I'll never forget the time when I did share my story in corporate, when I shared how I moved up the corporate ladder, all the things that were happening in my health side and things like that. And afterwards, after that, I had so many of the managers come up to me and go, "Oh, wow, I did not know that about you. Wow, you made me really think differently." And then I had a few people come in and go, "I really like what you said about that. I'm going to start looking into that a bit more." That's when you know you started to cut through. You started to create that impact, right? And one of the ways that we do that, I just needed to check what are the ways? One of the ways we do that is we call people to possibility. You share with them what's possible. You give them a new insight, a new shift in perspective. You give them kind of like, if you go this way, this is what's possible. If you stay where you are, then nothing changes, right? And then the fourth one around creating an impact is really owning the moment. Really owning the moment. When you have an opportunity to share your ideas, your story, your brilliance, whatever that opportunity is, whether it's on a table, you can, the opportunity is on a table because, hey, some people like to dance on tables, but no, when you have a stage, whether that's at a boardroom or in a meeting or on a physical stage or online, right? And you have a moment to really own that moment, to really ensure that your message lands, that it cuts through. And the way we do that is through pause and land. We pause at really key points or after key points. And then we land our message where we say it more than once. How many times have I said that this is about creating an impact? This whole training is about creating an impact. So one of the ways that you can do that is, what is the message that you want your audience to hear, to land? What do you want them to really take away? So you want to create an impact. You want to make the cut through. Do yourself a quick audit on your connection, your trust, like building trust, your moving people into action, and owning the moment. Do an audit for yourself. How do I connect with people? Am I connecting with people? Am I trying to speak to everyone and not speaking to anyone? Am I building trust? Am I sharing my stories? Am I sharing my truth, my realness, me? Am I leading people to action, to possibility? And am I owning the moment at every moment? So I'm curious which one really landed for you out of all those that I shared with you. Which one really landed for you? And it's like, oh, I want to go deeper with that. I want to learn a little bit more about that. I want to invite you to hit reply to my email or even on my YouTube channel, right, and comment down below, because I want to then build out and do another training around that. Because if you're wanting to know a little bit more about it and go deeper about creating an impact, I'm sure there's other ladies in my community that want that as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's Speaker Growth series, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.